Okay, so our last game of the day, our official last game, our bonus game, is going to be Flash versus Jaedong. We just saw Jaedong get completely pummeled on this map, but maybe he can put up a better show versus his rival Flash. If anything, we'll just get to see a hype match between these two players because, I mean, who doesn't love Flash versus Jaedong? I know it's not the Prime. I know it's not like they're not as evenly matched as they used to be, but come on, it's Flash versus Jaedong. So, we'll see if Flash goes for that heavy drop style as well. Flash is very well known for kind of popularizing the SK turn style, repopularizing at least, in this post-Kespa era, where he kind of invented the +1 5-racks build when he first came back to streaming. And it was really, really strong. And a lot of Zergs, for a long time, had a lot of problems dealing with it, trying to figure out how to actually stop it. And basically, since ASL 3, Flash has taken that one step further, said, you know what, instead, I'm going to go +1 5-racks, get a really strong ground army, and then you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get tons of drops behind that. I'm going to go double Stargate, get just like non-stop dropships and drop in all your bases. And if your dropship defense isn't perfect, you'll just die because my units are better than yours. Because Bio is just so superior to those Zerglings with the +1/+1 upgrades. So it's kind of an interesting way of thinking, but ooh, we have something different coming out from Flash. Gonna be going for that fast gas. I always say that this matchup, about 95% of the time, is gonna be 12 hatch versus a gasless expand from the Terran. It pretty much always happens, but gonna have something a little bit different. Gonna be going for that fast gas. And what, are you kidding me? Is Jaedong really gonna go for a fast gas too, off of 2 hatches? What? What is this game? Alright, this game is going to be a lot of fun to cast. This is not going to be a boring cast at all. So, Flash going to be going for that fast gas, going to be going for a faster factory. We'll see if he goes for just an early Vulture to put pressure on, if he goes into the Stargate early on for drops or Wraith, or if he's just going to go into a full-on mech build behind this. I would love to see some straight up mech coming out of him. It'd be really, really sick. This one drone's been annoying, but might have. Oh my god, that drone is a god! Oh my gosh, manages to actually go into the SCVs over there and glitch through the middle line. I don't know if that was planned from Jaedong, but that was sick. No matter what, that was actually the sickest thing I've ever seen. Fast layer coming down for Jaedong right now with that extra gas. Is that a 4-worker gas? That gas looks like it's really far away from the hatch. Anyhow, first couple Ling's gonna come out and gonna start working on that SCV, but it's so hard to actually deny scouting on this map, so you can just assume that SCV is gonna be back and just leave a Ling over there for the time being to scout for it, make sure it doesn't come back. And it is going to be coming back. Jaedong, unfortunately, seeing it just a tad bit too late, passes right by it. And it is going to be the fast starport coming out from Flash with the fast machine shop. So we're not going to be seeing 2-port Wraith. It's definitely going to be some sort of an opening that includes vultures. Definitely going to see that come out. So it's going to be something like a Vulture drop, most likely, but going to still open with a Wraith just to put some pressure on his opponent. And this has been a very interesting opening for Flash so far. He's going to be taking his expansion now. Started his upgrade, I believe that was either Vulture Speed or the Mines. So overall, very nice opening from Flash. Going to be able to start getting some control out onto the center of the map. Jaedong trying to go ahead and start establishing his third base, but going for this early drop play is actually really, really smart because it makes that third base much harder to actually get up and execute. Instead, though, it looks like this Wraith is just going to be coming over, flying around, picking off a couple Overlords in position, shutting down the vision. Are these Speedlings going to be enough to kill off this first Vulture? Looks like he's just trying to run around the Vulture, actually, and sneak into Flash's base as soon as the Vulture shows up at his base. He's got the Sunken and a few Lings over there to defend, so he should be in decent shape. These Lings coming in right now, are they going to be able to do big damage? We'll have to see. This one Vulture pops out just the right time, manages to stay alive in this corner for quite a while. The SCV surround is really good, going to be able to kill off a lot of those Lings for free. But at the very least, this does give Flash does give Jaedong a little bit of scouting information, so he's going to be feeling pretty confident about what he's up against. Meanwhile, Flash actually just going super greedy, going to be able to take a third expansion off the back of this. These Lings continue to be really, really annoying, but with two Vultures out, it's really hard to actually micro versus this. Good surround, though, by Jaedong. Look at that. That is the Jaedong Zerglings I'm used to seeing. And I lied when I said it was a third expansion. It was actually just a really fast eBay. So the fast eBay indicates to me that he's probably going to be going for bio to follow up. Probably not going to be a mech build. Usually you get an armory if you want to get some anti-air. You get some fast Goliaths to actually deal with that, and a couple of Wraiths, and you're pretty good. But in this particular case, since he's going to be going for the missile turrets, he's probably going to be adding on a couple of units later on. But oh my gosh, is Jaedong actually done it? Oh, that is actually beautiful. The Cloak comes in just in time to actually stop that. And although these Mutalisks are trying to get a little bit of damage, they are definitely dead-zo, done-zo to these Wraiths over time, because he just doesn't have any sort of actual detection. He's going to try to continue just pressuring over here. This is very interesting because I think most players would have just run away by now, but Jaedong is not one of those players. Jaedong is going to rely on that one slow Overlord, but now that that Overlord's gone, he's having a lot more trouble. But he's still managed to continually snipe these SCVs building the missile turrets, and that's allowed him to clean up a lot of this. Finally, the last couple of Wraiths are going to be going down. The missile turrets are up at this point, so at this point, Flash has stabilized, but it has been a difficult defense. This is really beautiful to see Jaedong kind of go back to his roots of 2-hatch Muta. It's really gorgeous, actually. Going to be getting another good hit on top of those Wraiths, and although Flash is good, he's not known for his Wraith micro, and it's been pretty obvious that his Wraith micro hasn't been the greatest in the entire world. So now that all of these missile turrets are up, though, this means that Flash is safe. Flash is probably going to be adding on some more unit-producing structures pretty soon. But in the meantime, these Mutalisks have done so much damage. It's actually insane how much damage these units have done. Going to be able to kill off these missile turrets coming up pretty soon, but there are a few units there to defend that. Going to be able to kill off one of those Marines for free. Oh, this unit micro has actually been pretty sublime. This is what I've been waiting for, Jaedong. What have you been doing? Picking off the Marine as well. What is this game, Jaedong? Where have you been? Oh my god, that was beautiful. Every single time Marine comes down here, he's just right in position to snipe it, always on top of his unit positioning. And Flash is really going to have to try something a little bit different if he wants to ever get a Marine down there. It's just turtling super, super hard with all of these missile turrets. I wouldn't be surprised for Jaedong to actually start flooding Lings at some point in time. Looks like he's got a pretty burgeoning economy over there at his third base now. Gonna be able to kill off that Marine yet again. And this has just been brutal for Flash, who's just been trying to get some sort of semblance of normalcy going. Finally, Jaedong is going to let up on the pressure a little bit, chill out, and this has been a huge win for Jaedong overall. Jaedong has 3 bases up and has a ton of his tech up. Right now, all Flash really has is a couple Wraiths and a science vessel. That's really all he has in terms of an army. So it's kind of really bad for him right now. He doesn't really have the infrastructure he needs to start building up a strong core army. He doesn't have a lot of factories. He doesn't have a lot of barracks. So it's difficult for him to actually start anything up. We'll see if he goes into the mass barracks pretty soon, but so far this has been a very unusual opening to this game, and I'm not really sure exactly where Flash goes from here. This has been such a weird game so far, but This game honestly looking a lot like 2000, 2009, 2010, when like two Hachimuta was like all the rage, and like the Terran players would just make like 16 turrets in their bases. Oh my god, it's beautiful. I love it. I miss this play. Jaedong is just sharking around, trying to kill off any SCVs, trying to kill off anything that might be coming towards his bases. Overlord speed finishing up quite early. The split is really, really slow coming out from those units, so ends up actually taking a lot more damage from that than he should have. A lot of those Mutalisks going down. Those two Irradiates worth their weight in gold right now. Finally, all of these barracks being added on for Flash, but he's got to kind of maneuver them around all of these missile turrets, which is a bit annoying. Even having, oh my gosh, even having a Spore over there in that third base, really beautiful stuff from Flash. He's got his Lurkers coming out right now, so even if the Bio does come out, it's not a big deal for him. As well as the Hive on the way as well, so just so many things going right for Jaedong at this particular point in time. It looks like he might actually be preparing a Ling drop in the back, which would be really, really devastating for Flash right now. If he rallies everything to the natural and moves out, could actually just be a finishing move, but Flash is always really well known for scouting well, so there's still a possibility that Flash scouts this out, sees it coming, and doesn't have too much of a problem. 3 Siege Tanks out as well. This is actually starting to become a pretty scary army with 1 or 2 more rallies of Marines. We could definitely see a strong mid-game army coming out from Flash, but is it going to be enough to actually in the game? Because Jaedong's had so much time to go ahead and build up all of his units. He's got his he's got his Hive now. He can go ahead and start working on those Defilers as well. So this has overall been really, really good for him. This Wraith being scouted out immediately, not going to be fooling anyone with its cloakiness, but does manage to actually just barely get away. So a little bit unfortunate there for Flash. He's just going to be turtling up really heavily on all of these Lurkers. I would actually prefer him to just like walk out in the middle of the map with like 3 dozen Lings and just crush this army in the center of the map with Lurker Ling, but instead he's going to play it a little bit more defensively, try to go for this backdoor Lurker attack instead. And this is the crazy Jaedong. I know, when you've got death knocking on your door, you just go for the crazy all-in counterplay. Oh my god, this is going to be gorgeous. So as this attack is coming in, at the same time, Jaedong is pushing into the front. He's got to go ahead and start getting these Lurkers at his natural in a defensive position, but here comes the big attack. Going to be able to get on top of a lot of these units. Is there enough over here to actually kill off Jaedong's base though? Jaedong going absolutely insane with this, but there really isn't a lot of bio yet. There's a lot of Irradiates though, which has been allowed a lot of these Lurkers to go down, but most of the bio's been cleaned up, and it's just tanks at this point. With mass Lings, he can easily clean this out. This has been huge damage to Flash's economy. Jaedong playing this so smart. As long as he gets a couple more units out, he should be able to push back these last few tanks without too much of a problem. No more anti-air here as well, so a couple of those units going to be going down. Manages to save his Defilers as well. Meanwhile, these Lurkers still haven't been cleaned up by Flash. Jaedong just going for the death blow with that counter attack. Going to be able to clean up so many of these supply depots as well. I think Flash has been supply blocked forever. It's been unable to actually get back off the ground. And that one Defiler hiding right next to the tank like, you can't see me. Flash just doesn't have anything to deal with this, and he can't make any more units. He's trying to rebuild some of his supply depots elsewhere, and maybe irradiate the rest of these Lurkers to death, but the damage has already been done, and Jaedong is continuing to re-macro, going back up to the Mutalist play, knowing that his opponent's going to be using all of the remaining Irradiates on top of those Lurkers. This is a very smart play overall. Going to be able to go ahead and actually even take a 4th base behind this, floating a lot of minerals right now. He could definitely afford to add on a few extra bases. This has been a huge win though for Jaedong, being able to get up to the Hive Tech, survive, and do a tons of damage to his opponent's economy. It's going to be a long time before Flash is able to make any sort of a push out again, but he does have a pretty decent science vessel cloud, so he's got to be a little bit careful about how he uses that. Make sure that he doesn't lose too many of those science vessels, because right now that is Flash's lifeline. That's the only way he can possibly come back into this game. Radiant goes down on top of that last lurker, gonna finally be able to kill it off. But oh my gosh, the damage has just been absolutely insane. Jaedong relentless. This is the Jaedong I really remember from back in his prime. This is what I feel like Jaedong should have been doing for a long time. It feels like he's been lost, and now he's kind of sort of found his playstyle back again. Except for when a whole bunch of Scourge run into a science facility. Oh god, that's painful. Units coming out right now, but... Oh, beautiful play coming down on top of all those science vessels. Those are going to be so easy to clean up later. Those are going to be lulls easy to clean up later. So all of these Scourge going down, but you know what? It's fine. It's fine. I think Jaedong may have overextended a little bit there and lost a lot of his units for free, but as soon as he gets a good chance, he's just going to fly over and kill all of those science vessels instantly. It's going to be really beautiful to see. Although he doesn't have a lot of defense for these units, and Flash is being so careful with these science vessels. He really wants to make sure that the Mutalisks don't actually get in there. You see he's even baiting it out. He's baiting the Mutalisks to go for it. And Jaedong is having absolutely none of it. Good play on top of all of those units. Going to make them much weaker, but at this point in time, Jaedong does have 4 bases up. Flash is still struggling to get his economy back off the ground. And as long as Jaedong can play somewhat smart, he'll be in a good shape. Managed to snipe off one more of those science vessels. 2 of those incredibly low. If anything, this has delayed the push for quite a while. It's allowed Jaedong to get his feet back on the ground. But this is still a pretty scary army from Flash. This is more or less an all-in from Flash at this point in the game, just trying to make sure that he has a lot of units controlling the center of the map. But it's not going to be game over until we see him go for committing to an attack. And right now, Flash seems to just be content with just hanging out, not going for a full-out attack right now. He managed to kill off the base down in the bottom right-hand corner, Jaedong's 5th. So that is a small win for for Flash. Jaedong still has a lot of minerals. He really needs to be spending that on extra hatches so that he can go ahead and macro a little bit harder. But looks like right now he's just trying to find... He really wants the science vessel, like, more than anything in the entire world. He wants to kill that one science vessel. And I think that might be a bit of a mistake from him to be targeting that science vessel so hard. He's finally got a decent lurker count back up again. He's going to be trying to look for more chances to go after his opponent. One of those science vessels picked off for free. Second one's still staying alive for a little bit longer. Gonna get a nice plague off onto that one science vessel. Not enough to quite kill it, unfortunately. But so far, this has been really good for Jaedong. It looks like he's actually using those lurkers that he has to start pushing down the right side of the map and take that base as well. Actually, never mind, they're pushing into Flash's natural. And does Flash really have much at his natural? Doesn't look like he does. He's got 2 dropships that he might be able to drop on top of these lurkers. But this is a lot of lurkers, and with more links coming out across the map, this could be a problem. This one Defiler, though, is going to get caught. Unfortunately, it's going to be stuck over there for quite a while. But the swarms are actually really good. Going to be able to kill off a lot of those units. But he needs to get a swarm on top of the lurkers. That's really the important part. Again, Flash doing, Jaedong doing an excellent job of just putting a lot of pressure back onto his opponent. This counterattack over here has forced all of Flash's units home, has forced a lot of them to go back, and actually, the pressure is continuing to come from Jaedong. He's actually continuing to flood units through there using his Nidus Canal, and with the Scourge coming out across the map, he could definitely pick off the remainder of the science vessels, could do some serious damage. He hasn't been able to kill off that one science vessel with the Irradiate, though, and that has been the real problem. These couple of lurkers on the high ground going to be able to do some serious damage to these units and hold them in place for right now. Jaedong is completely taking control of the map. Can Flash get back into this game with a good drop? He's got a dropship going across the map. This is starting to feel more and more like desperation from Flash, even abandoning his natural to those couple of lurkers right now, moving out across the map, hoping that maybe he can get some damage done in the natural, but it seems like Jaedong is prepared. Jaedong is actually even going to clean up the small group of units that's over here as well. with the remainder of his forces. This dropship is going to come up to the main right now. Is it going to do enough damage to actually win the game? It's going to be a double drop. A couple of units being rallied over here for Jaedong. Is Jaedong going to be able to get over there in time? The Scourge go down before they can actually kill off the dropship. So dropship is still alive. How much damage will this drop be able to do? Flash. Jaedong again going for the crazy counterattack. He's abandoning his main. He's just going to go for the counterattack with all of these units. All of the units lining up beautifully for Jaedong right now. Going to be able to kill off a lot of that bio, but he does lose the remainder of his lurkers. Is he going to be able to actually finish him off? Jaedong has done so much damage to Flash, but he's taken so much damage in his main as well. Can he come back from this? If he loses this hatchery, he could be in a lot of trouble in terms of mining. He manages to get a Defiler out. I don't think it's going to have enough time to actually put down a Storm before it dies, though. And this Force in the main has done so much damage. It's continuing to crush through, and Jaedong is not using all of his larva. There's all of this larva in the main that's not being used right now. Finally, it gets done, but the Ultra's Cavern is up for Jaedong. It has been making units all this time. We'll be able to see if the Ultras start to come out and start to do some serious damage. Oh my gosh, this has been absolutely insane. Finally, the Ultras out are going to be able to clean this up. Another drop coming into this base over here. Kills off the Nadi's Canal. This might be the end for Jaedong. Jaedong's not paying attention. He's trying to kill off these couple of medics instead of evacuating all of his drones in time. And, oh my gosh, has Flash actually come back in this game? This game has gone so scrappy. Jaedong now mining off of only 2 bases. He's going to try to take a 3rd base as well, but he's lost a lot of drones. Meanwhile, Flash is still on only those 2 bases. His main is completely mined out, only mining on 1 bases right now. But he still has all of these science vessels. They're going to do a fantastic job of continuing to push in here. Even doing the eraser trick. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. All of these drones are going to die. Jaedong not reacting fast enough. Oh my god. Oh my god. That might have been the game-winning move for Flash. Oh my gosh. Killing off the Defiler as well. These science vessels have done so much for Flash. It's actually insane. And now the cost efficiency of these Marines in scrappy situations is going to come through. Jaedong really needs to make absolute extreme use of these Ultras that he has, because this is the last of his gas. This is the last of his income for a while. He's got to make sure that they don't just get irradiated and die. They need to clean up a lot of units. Meanwhile, more Scourge need to come out. The real problem is just these science vessels. The longer the science vessels stay alive, the longer it becomes a problem for Jaedong. And now he's starting to lose a lot of these Ultras, or at least a lot of their health, to that irradiate. This is looking pretty brutal for him. He's going to wait a little bit longer to come in here. Finally, a couple more science vessels are going to go down. But I think the numbers might just be a little bit too high for Flash. He's going to push in here. He's going to crush through this base. And that is the remainder of all of the Ultras for Jaedong. Jaedong doesn't have anything left. He's trying to rebuild all of the drones that he lost earlier, but he doesn't have time to rebuild drones. He's still floating so much minerals. He needs to just put down extra hatcheries. He cannot survive off of just this. And there's the GG somehow. Flash coming back in it. Oh my god, those science vessels were the MVPs.